Alright guys, you probably saw from the thumbnail that we're working on this wire harness today. The plan is to get all these wires cleaned up so I can see what is what and where it goes and all that kind of stuff. We're going to try to eliminate everything we can out of here. I'm not a wiring expert by no means. I know a little bit about it. Hoping that we don't take anything out of here we need, but this is for the interior of the vehicle. So it's not, some of it's connected to the engine, but it's not directly connected. So this would be like, you know, your doors, power windows, door locks, airbags, all that kind of stuff. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take out everything we don't need, because obviously in the sand rail we don't need windows to go up and down, and we don't have doors, so we don't need door locks. We don't need any of that stuff. Now there's a separate harness which is right over here. This one is for the dash. So this guy right here has, you know, like your radio, gauge cluster. This one also has the hookup right here for diagnostics, stuff like that. So we're going to work on this one too, but not right now. I think that one's going to be a bit easier to figure out. What my plan is, I marked everything that I knew where it went with this tape, and like in this one here says -2, -1, and so on and so forth. This was the throttle and cruise. So that way, at least the stuff that's marked and I know where it goes, I'm not going to take out if it's, you know, if it's needed. And then there's a whole bunch of different little ground blocks on here too that look like this. I know you can't see that probably from that far away really good, but you know, we may not need all of these either once. I think there was like 12 or 13 of them in here. But once we eliminate some of this stuff, I'm sure some of that will probably go with it. But the first thing we got to do is get all this stripped down so that we can actually see all the wires and not have any of this, forget what you call this stuff, but this wire protector and all the tape. So we're going to need snippers and probably a razor knife. And this might just be part one, and part one might just be stripping this thing down, getting it all laid out, trying to figure out what's what. I don't know if it's going to take more than one video to do this. We'll see if we can get it all done in one video. But anyway, that's where we're at. So, if you want to know how to strip a wire harness or eliminate what you don't need out of one for your project car, pay attention. I can probably show you how to screw it up. Let's do this. All right, guys. I stripped pretty much all the tape except for these little ends where they were cut off, because I don't want these wires to get separated. I want to know what they're for. But everything this way has been stripped. I still got to do this. But yeah, I'm just taking off. I'm taking the tape off without cutting it if I can, just, you know, by doing this number, because I don't want to damage any wires with the razor blade. If I have to use it, I do, but for the most part, I'm not. And I didn't film all that because that would be kind of boring for you, and I'd probably have to turn it into a time lapse anyway, in order to make it not 6 hours long. But once I get all this done and I figure out some things, I'll bring you back and kind of talk through what the plan is moving forward. But right now, I'm going to finish stripping this harness all this tape off it and everything, and then we'll go from there. That's where we're at right now. By the way, it's super hot out here today. We got a heat advisory for our area today due to the humidity. We had a pretty nice thunderstorm this morning, and it's about an hour and a half or something. It poured the rain and thunder and lightning, and everything got wet, and then now the sun's coming out and everything's getting humid. So I don't know how much longer I'll be able to stay out here. I got all the fans going in here. It's pretty comfortable right now, but we'll see what happens if that sun finally busts through those clouds, and it might get a little bit ridiculously hot out here. So I'm going to keep busting away at it. I'll come back to you in a minute. I'm getting close. Just got the end of this harness to finish up here, the portion that runs to the under the hood fuse box. So I figured I would, oops, tape is really sticky. I gotta tell you, I don't know who the person is that tapes these wire harnesses up at the wire harness factory, but man, if you're not an alcoholic, I give you props. I'm just kidding. This is I just can't believe it. I mean, unbelievable. For somebody to be able to, I don't know if they use a machine, but the way this thing is all taped together, I'd almost think it has to be done by hand. And yeah, I'm here to tell you, if you could do one of these a day, you'd be impressing me. So anyway, yep, just gonna finish unwrapping all this tape here. We got just this little section to go back down to the pin connector that goes into the fuse box, and this will be done. And then what I'll do is lay it out on this table best I can to see if we can figure out how it would go in the vehicle, and we'll go from there. That one goes to the steering column, so that's kind of important. Yeah, where's my little connector? My connector popper here. I don't know if I'm going to get that one out or not. That one's a little difficult. It's probably going to have to cut it. We'll cut it. We don't need it. I got a garbage can over there. Not just throwing the stuff on the floor, guys. And then I got a box on that side over there so that stuff like this we'll keep. Plus any wire that we take out, obviously, we'll keep as well, because wire's hard to get. This is a pretty quality wire. If you guys ever go places and buy wire, you know there's a difference between cheap wire and good wire. And most places sell cheap wire, but alright, now that I'm down here on this end, it's getting a little bit more difficult to get the tape off. Probably figured because it was going below the hood, or under the hood, they were going to do a little extra tape job on it just to keep it from getting any moisture or damage or heat. But anyway, I'll keep pucking away at it, and once I get it laid out here, we'll, like I said before, we'll get a little bit of an idea of what we're going to do next. Pull some wires out of here. I'm working on this plug right now, which I believe has something to do with the radio. So am I positive of that? No, but I know we didn't have it hooked up, so we're going to eliminate it. So really what I'm doing is I'm just cutting the wire, I don't know, maybe a couple inches away from the plug, The reason why I'm doing that is just in case I got to put this stuff back if I, well, that's a loud truck. If I do make a mistake and I discover it later, I can wire this stuff back together. So, but yeah, now I'm just tracing that wire. Just like that. And then finding out where it heads here. This one's going this way. And it's right there. If you give it a little tug, you can see it move up further. You don't have to play around with it all day long. You can just find it real quick. And I got a tug on it here. Although I don't see it moving anywhere. Oh, it's because it went back this way now. Yep, right here. Went back that way. Now it's coming around here. Got a feeling this is going to be a long one. Already is. Now it's coming through here. Probably going to go right over there to that part that connects into the fuse box in the back of the rail. Yep, we're going here. Oh nope, this one's going straight to the plug. So it's getting its power from the fuse box in the front. Here. So I do the same thing here. I just cut them off with some length to them, so if I do have to put them back, I can. I'm hoping I don't, but if I do, I can. So anyway, that's what I'm going to keep doing, and tripping over wires, pulling things out of socket until I get this thing all cut down. I did already accidentally cut one wire. I'm not positive where it went, but it went to that box, so I'm just gonna leave it. It was in that box and that box, so I'm just gonna leave it until I can figure out what it does. All right, I'll be back later. All right, guys. Hot and muggy day number 2. Hotter and muggier day number 2. Got the doors shut today, just trying to keep stupid hot air out. But anyways, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more wires to remove from this harness. And for now, I think we're going to have everything cleaned out of here. We can get out. Okay, so we took out power door locks, power windows, radio, heater, XM radio, headlights, tail lights, marker lights, the daylight indicator for the headlights came out, horn, cruise. There's a plethora of other things. But anyway, you might be wondering, well, why'd you take the headlights and taillights out if you're going to need headlights and taillights? Well, the reason for that is is because I wanted to minimize this down as far as I could get it. And then once we get everything working correctly, it's real easy to add taillights and headlights back in and be able to run the wires whatever desired way we want to do that. So for now they're gone. They will be back, but they just won't be in this harness. And the other reason for that is too because once I get this harness squared away, get it all taped back up, we can run a second harness for that stuff. And it makes it a lot easier to figure out if you have issues and whatnot instead of trying to look through all this. So anyway, that's the reason for it. What I'm going to do is, well, you can see right now I'm about probably reduce this by about 50%. I'll show you. All of this came out of it so far. Now we're not throwing it away. We got a good wire. And I mean, there's always the chance that you make a mistake too. So you want to be able to go back if you did make a mistake and find that wire and put it back in the system. So it's all a little sketchy in the long run. It's got its moments, but yeah. I'm going to keep picking through these wires, get these other 6 or 8 or however many I have out of it. And then I think that'll wrap it up for this video. We'll try putting it back in the car and see what happens on the next one. All right, here we go. All right. Now, that should take care of everything we know we can cut out. Like I say, really reduce the size of the harness. The only thing I still have to do is try to figure out that fuel pump right there. There's a plug somewhere on the harness for the engine that I haven't really figured out. Probably 2 plugs, honestly. They go into that guy. I know the 2 that go on the opposite end of this, obviously. And so once we get that figured out, we'll have a fuel pump, and we can probably put this in a bucket of water, or excuse me, bucket of water. That wouldn't end well. Bucket of gasoline and see if we can get it to prime and that kind of stuff. But that's down the road. Right now, we are probably setting pretty good. It looks like I got one here. Just noticed this one. It has some wires in it that go nowhere. So I'm going to trace these back. See if I can figure out where they go, and I could probably get rid of this too because it really doesn't look like it's going nowhere. And then what I'll do is I'll just see, here's another one just like it. So I can pick through these and get rid of them too. It looks like we only got a couple more though. And then that'll be the end of it. But yeah, for now, I'm not going to bore you with watching me cut those out. Next step, I'm not going to bundle this all up and tape it up or anything until we're sure everything works. And then once we get that figured out, get it all of these screwed to the body somewhere, the grounds, make sure everything works. What we'll do then is we'll get everything where it needs to be to clean this up, and then probably tape it all back together. So, all right, don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell. I know this wasn't a real in-depth lesson on what to do with your wire harness, but the simplest way to put it is to plug everything in that you have, and then you can eliminate the plugs that you don't use. And hopefully it does not affect our security system too much. Well, we're going to find out. We'll find out together. So, there's always ways around that too, I guess. All right, thank you again. If you got any questions, ask in the comments. I'll do the best I can to answer them. And you don't know unless you try. So today, that's what we're doing. All right, thanks guys.